And like you mentioned, earlier, we're typically called in when a project finds itself in all of these chaotic problems. Um, so with the grievances, what happens is if a funder, for example, that is applying IFC standards comes to audit a project and these certain compliances are not adhered to, they call for a stop work order and then the project stops until these things are resolved, right? And on these sometimes billion rand projects, every day of stoppage costs enormous amounts of money. And then also starting work again isn't we push the button and everything starts. It's a phase startup always. So you have direct time lost and indirect time lost, and it's a hugely enormous, expensive exercise. Also, if you're calling somebody in retrospectively to come help you fix the problems, that's a hugely expensive exercise because you're paying premium consulting rates because it's urgent. We need to bring in a whole team of people instead of, one or two people because now it's an urgent problem that needs to be resolved with a significant time pressure.
If this is predictable and there are ways to prepare for this with foresight instead of hindsight, not only does it mean projects move forward, but it means the budget that is allocated can do so much more rather than go over budget or scramble to get more funds.
100%. And I mean, in that whole scenario I just described is just about grievance processes. Across the myriad of regulations, legislation, and standards that these projects have to adhere to, there are, I was going to say hundreds, it's not quite hundreds, but it's definitely tens of examples of embedded inefficiency if it's not dealt with upfront in the planning processes.
And yet, once again, avoidable problems.
Completely avoidable.